texting and driving with us up in your ride.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon,
Top of the morning to ya.
top and bottom of the morning to you, because you know we like a good bottom. Hey,
Hey,
ain't nothing wrong with the bottom or the top. She
baby
a bad
got back.
motherfucker. Oh, we're not
Shake
supposed to
what your
sing our
mama
made-up
gave
songs we
you.
never actually made. Okay, that's hurtful. It's very hurtful. Feel attacked, actually. I'm not gonna lie, but it is, of course, two wild and crazy guys, as one SNL skit once said. And that is definitely us. And welcome to the show. Welcome.
Two wild and crazy guys.
Two wild and crazy guys. Oh, I love Steve Martin.
Yeah.
SNL. Love it.
Still watch it to this day.
Dude, did you watch the Ryan Gosling episode from last weekend?
No, don't talk about it.
Really good, though. Can I just say that? And can I say that
Yes, you can say that.
the musical guest will slap you in the mouth with a throwback.
Oh, damn.
All I'm
Yeah,
saying is, what?
I usually try to watch it with the better half.
All I'm saying is, I've got sunshine in a bag of it. Okay, I can't. I've said
I already know that. I know that
It was a
artist.
good guest. I literally, like, most people don't know this, but I actually watch SNL on like Monday morning while I'm getting ready for work. So as you can imagine, I'm like jamming out in the house, just getting into some gorillas. It was great. But anyway, I
Right.
won't share any skits, and I definitely will never, ever, ever ruin Weekend Update for you, because Weekend Update is why. Like, for most people that know me, they know that Weekend Update is why as a kid I started watching SNL, and
Yeah.
because even as a youth, as a young teen, I got political satire. I got news. Like, I read the newspaper every morning in
Right.
homeroom. It was actually a
Right.
requirement. And then I got, and one of my, like, I swear, dude, it was like seventh grade homeroom. It was like a requirement to read the newspaper, or maybe it was seventh grade study hall, but it was a requirement to read the newspaper. You didn't have work to do. I don't remember. But what I'm telling you is
Right.
this, why
Like
that's important.
writing in cursive.
Dude, why that's important is because it became a habit. It became habitual. Usually these days, I have a very, very, like, I have a very OCD, I clearly am a germaphobe way of, like, reading the news. I do it when I
Right.
poop. But
Okay.
there's a but in there. But my phone is in my pocket as I slowly intrude on the restroom location. And then I get myself comfy, and I
You
make sure that
educate yourself.
I make sure my hands haven't touched anything, and then I pull my phone out and I read the news. I then pocket my phone and then finish my business, as any person who is
Right.
real OCD would probably do. I'm like, and then I wash my hands and I go on, and then I pull my phone back out. But I always, like, so for all you news poop readers like me, who poop read as I call it, usually I find, you know what I find? People that tend to be a little higher. I don't want to say educated, because I don't think that's fair to intelligent people that couldn't afford to go to school. That's not fair. What I'll say is, but generally higher intelligent people tend to do a lot of things at the same time that they do stuff that other people just find, like, you shouldn't be doing stuff while you're doing that. Like,
it's
I will read the news while I poop, or I will catch
it's
up
called
on um uh I'll catch up on Sports Center. Um my,
it's
my future soon to be wife will tell you that I literally sit there and I will put on, like, the game on my tablet, and then I will, like, throw that on, like, the back of the toilet, and then start shaving my face at the sink.
yeah, right. It's called throwback fucking multitasking.
I was the person as a kid going, wouldn't it be cool if we could just carry the TV around the house? Wouldn't it be
Right.
really, really awesome if the internet could be like I used to have to tell, like, a girl on, like, AOL chat, like, hey, I'll be right back. I have to go pee. You know what I mean?
BRB.
Like, I gotta go pee. Like, We've come so far that there are no more AOL social media poop and pee breaks. You can just do them at the same time.
MySpace.
What I did find is that people that are of a little slightly higher intelligence, and I'm sorry, if you read Facebook on the pooper, you're not intelligent. You're just normal. No offense. But people that really like I know people that like literally like poop and do their homework. I know people that like wash dishes and will do something else at the same time. That's what I do. Like I cook dinner and I'm
Yeah.
usually watching or listening to a documentary or a sports ball puck. I find that people of higher intelligence tends to do more than one thing at the same time, but is actually capable. Like if you stop and hoe check me, I'll fuck you up. Mama finds out all the time. Mama gets fucked up. She's like, you ain't even paying attention to me or the game or the show. And I'm like, you just said bloop, 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 blah. The score is bloop, boop, bop, boop, boop, boop. And our daughter just said that bloop, boop, 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 boop happened at court with her ex.
Right.
And she's like, she'll literally look at me, scowl, and be like, I fucking hate
You're
you.
right.
I'm like, hate a man because he can listen to three things at the same time. How do you think I knew people were talking shit about me in high school, dude? I'd be in my locker
Right.
talking to somebody, and they'd be walking by talking that ip shit, and I would be listening to everything they were fucking saying about me. Honestly, dude, I
Just
think I would have
because we
gotten in
say
more
huh
fights in high school if I hadn't
sometimes.
already been on probation. But I was
Just
just like,
because
man,
we say huh
I swear I spent like
sometimes.
2 years in high school, like I'd beat your ass, but I'm on probation forever.
I beat your ass.
But I'm not trying to go to juvie. I'm trying to go to college, okay?
Side.
Although that youth barber program still in handy to this day because I just bought a new set of clippers and I'm like, hey, bring the grandkids by. Pops will cut them up. And my kids are like, I always forget dad can cut hair. And I'm like, yeah, dad doesn't talk about where he learned to cut hair. That's why. Moving on.
Yeah, right.
I took every vocational program that school or the boys' school offered. I didn't give a
Hmm,
shit. I was like, oh, it's not sitting here with my thumb up my ass. Got it. I'm in.
right. Sign me up.
Right? So check this out. It is, of course, the Turned Up Headlines. It's actually one of the more popular and more favorite shows of people because it really pulls us away from sometimes all the crazy of the world and
Hmm,
drags us into,
hmm.
well, okay,
The
it pulls us
the other
away from
crazy
the standard
political.
political and socio-economical and so forth standard, we'll call it, issues, and we get into some more of the stuff that's just like, this is the news that you
Peop-
say what the fuck and you leave the whole word fuck there. You don't even star out the end of it. None of
yeah, right. This is
it.
your next door neighbor news.
Yeah. This ain't your mama news. Or is it? My mama cuss a
It's,
lot. This is definitely my mama news. You know why my
oh,
mama doesn't listen to our show? Look, here's the truth. My mom doesn't listen to our show because my first crazy headline and you'll see why here in a second. My mom doesn't listen to our show because I read headlines that say Trump pardoned Capitol 6 rioter who is now sentenced to life in prison for sexually assaulting 2 children. That's really why she don't listen to my show because I'll be telling the truth about somebody she liked. That's all. Oh, I dropped the
yep.
tablet. Our digital realm has been ruined. Everything's over. Ooh, I want to play Dungeons and Dragons in a digital realm. You know, I don't want somebody there that can like really fuck me. I just rather the algorithm fuck me. Like if you're gonna bend me over and fuck me, let it be the algorithm. By the way, if someone ever turns this show into a cartoon, I want to see that bit come
Hey,
out. Like
hey,
I'm gonna get
they
fucked by
they
a literal algorithm if somebody ever turns this into a cartoon. You do realize that, right?
they they do have a video game that is very similar to D&D.
Chris, I said I'm gonna get sexually assaulted by an algorithm if somebody turns our show into a cartoon, and you just moved on. I'm hurt. Okay,
Because
so
who's
no,
going to do
I
that to
figured there.
us?
So first off, I'm sure there are several games that are of D&D esque type anyway, because I find World of Warcraft to be kind of in that realm of behavior.
You you, you read my mind.
It's
I
funny I went
play
right to
WoW.
what you were thinking. I find, I kind of find Warzone and like Battlefield and those 4 to 6 group go after and fight everybody fucking else kind of things, kind of similar as well in a sense.
Yeah.
Not quite as open world map as World of Warcraft, of course, obviously, but similar in a sense, yeah. But anyway, and Another headline that my mom would probably not listen to our show over is, should I do this the whole show? Just these are the headlines that I read that my mom won't listen to us because I read them. That's like, I feel like,
All of them.
I've picked on her enough. Dude, she's not, listen, honestly, I should probably stop. She's not even talking to me right now. Like, I'm not even kidding you. She's so fucking pissed off at me. Well, okay, the feeling's mutual. I love you, mom, but I'm also equally as pissed off at her or something. And it's not something we should discuss on air because it has to do with like,
Yes.
it has to do with social and economical and upbringing stuff. And with my mom being, I'll give you guys enough insight. With my mom being a white lady and me not being fully a white guy, I think you can just to begin to understand where the conversation may have started and the inconsiderate and disavolving yourself of those things that can happen to me that don't happen to you just really rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, look, bitch, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm like, okay. And I will. My mom's anniversary is 420, bro. Like I'll probably wait till April 20th. People are like, bro, you're really not gonna talk to your mom for like 2 months? Uh-huh. You think that's the least amount of time I haven't talked to her and she's pissed me off? Guys, I haven't talked to my mom for like 6 months to a year at a time. I
Yeah,
haven't been home to
right.
visit my mom in 10 years. Her and I don't actually get along very well. Um, I find her to support way too many things in the world that just are very anti how I look, live, and breathe. And that's hard to like.
Right.
I don't care who you are, Chris. That's hard to be around.
That's that.
And
That's
look,
hard
I
to
love my
swallow.
mom.
Are
Don't
you
get me wrong.
kidding?
She gave me birth. I love my mom. I don't want that to come off the wrong way. But just because I love somebody doesn't mean I want to hang out with them every day and spend time with them. Like I have lots of family members that I find their political, religious, and or other views to be piss poor as fuck, and I just want to hang out with you. Um,
Right.
like I'll give you a good example. I have a cousin who is pro-life, but they don't go on and fucking on about it with somebody like
Right.
me who's very pro-choice.
Well, it's
I
just
believe
like
that we sometimes you have to do what you have to do because it just ain't the right time, and you it all up. Okay,
well,
that's
it's
your choice, though.
just like when you get religious people that preach and preach and preach and preach about their religion, but then
100%.
you get o- other ones that whatever their belief is, they keep to themselves, and they don't bring it into conversations and pound it into people.
Like, I'll give you a good example. We have our son and their now they've only come over a couple times, but they have come over a couple times, which means they don't mind us. We've clearly figured that out. But they are super religious, and I smoke pot. And I mean, but they'll have drinks. They're super cool people. A young couple of my kids friends with, right? And they're very deeply religious. She's from out of country and South America and uh done right there, right? Like her, well, not her personally, but her family, right?
Yeah,
And so her upbringing is very much conservative Catholic. The writings on the wall, much like my father was a Roman Catholic, right? And I grew up Roman Catholic, right? And Roman Catholic, the reason why you call it Roman Catholic over just Catholic is because Roman Catholic is the most strictest Orthodox Catholic version of Catholicism you can have. It is the motherland church. It is Mecca for Muslims. It is, it is every Buddhist temple that you can think of that's awesome for, Buddhism and Hinduism, their temples. It's that for them. Right? And
yeah.
that's what
It's
it is
where
for
the Pope
Catholicism.
is, right? Rome,
Huh? Did you say the cult?
the Pope,
Oh,
the Pope.
I thought you said that's what the cult is. I was like, oh,
Yeah, yeah, they are.
honestly, I, I really thought that's what you said. I'm dead ass, dude. I thought you said, is that where the cult is? And I'm like, well,
Yeah,
Catholicism,
yeah,
I feel about that. You're not going to argue.
kind of.
Oh, that's great. Is that where the cult is? In other news, by the way, um, Homeland Security Director in Chief Christy Nome was ousted, and leaving some Republicans to say why, leaving me to say, "Are you fucking serious?" Moving on. It's not just like you didn't even do it to. When you do a shit show job and then you don't even accomplish the main goal that you're trying to, you fuck everything up and then don't even achieve the goal you meant to achieve, and you still fucked everything up. You got to go. Like
Yeah,
I'm not saying I agree with your goal in the first place, but you're going to do what you're going to do until you're handcuffed by Congress. Vote this November, and otherwise, you get what you asked for, America. Sorry, there it is. I said it. Someone should. Anyway, let's get another headline in. So the White House is facing criticism, dude. You can't make this. Come on, listen. I'm not here to White House bash. I mean, our main two stories for the show today have nothing to do with the White House, but this one is fucked up and it's funny and it's also like really not okay either. So the White House is under fire right now and is facing some real serious backlash after publishing a social media post video of blending real life combat footage of U.S. missile strikes in Iran with video game footage from video games. And the video surfaced early March, and the White House is trying to like act like it's just a hype video, and I'm like, bro, you are not a what? Who? Dude, no. What do you? Where? So many questions. Like, I don't need a fucking hype video, homeboy. You're not a homeboy.
No,
What I need is
I'm not.
facts, not your opinion, first off, not your wants,
Yeah.
desires, and fake ass goals that you will never accomplish. I just need facts right now. You started a war in the Middle East, which hasn't been done since 2002. Well, three
And
technically, but two, we were already in Afghanistan, tomato, tomato. Fuck you. We can bust a map out, and I'll agree with you that Afghanistan is technically on
how,
the
how,
Asian
how do
continent.
you like that? He
So
said,
fuck you,
how
but
did
cool.
did you see that article where he said that he was going to go into Belgium and just take over our military bases, whether they wanted us there or not?
Did you see where I told you to stop that? No, I'm just playing. Yes, I did. Um, and
But
yes, I don't have time for all
unbelievable.
of that. And
I know.
sadly, well, Chris, we can't really
Let's
get
get
into it,
into the
but
funnier turned up story.
considering the news we received as a company recently, we can't really get into it, but we can just say that, hey, look, um, we're gonna be working like a dog leading up to the end of the season, no matter what. Clearly, but
Yes.
um, until then, fly Eagles fly. I don't know what cry Eagles cry. I don't know. Let's get to our main two headlines. And do you have any headlines before we do that?
No. I mean, I can talk about some shit, especially with what
Seriously, I
you're bringing
sped through
up.
all those headlines, and you're like, "No, I ain't got shit." Like, really, really? No.
Really?
So I think we have to really. So my first headline, and I really don't have any explanation. I don't think anyone has any explanation. Chris, I don't think anyone should have an explanation. How about that? I don't think anybody should
Right?
have an explanation for this first one. I can explain a lot of stuff and be like, yeah, that's crazy, man. That's wild. That's insane. That's lunacy, whatever, right? Dude, I got nothing here. When I told my friend about this story, I, as in true MistaTre fashion, I accused him and the entire state of Florida of potentially being this quality of human. To which I was quickly slapped across the face in a text format, if you can be, and told, fuck you, man. We don't do that weird shit. Now, you want to come at me with some meth gators, man? We did that. I'm sorry. But you don't come at me with that weird shit. What weird shit was he talking about, Christopher?
Tell me.
Well, here we go. A 32-year-old Owensboro, Kentucky man. That's right. You had to go Nerf of Tennessee, son. And south of Ohio, which is uncomfortably north for this to be going on, just for the record. Um, People in the South, like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Just like my friend from Florida. But you know what? When it comes to things like this, am I wrong? I think we could do some
No.
research, Chris, and I don't think I would look as bad as I do right now.
No. No, you wouldn't. And that's the sad
Because
part.
the saddest part of this show is that we have this story to talk about. So I digress, people. Yes, you heard it here. Maybe first, maybe not. I don't really know. But I'm going to say this. What did you hear here? And what did you hear? A 32-year-old Owensboro man, Alan Osborne, that's right, we name dropped him, was arrested in February 2026 after a witness reported seeing him engaging in sexual acts with a deceased deer on the side of the road in Muhlenberg County, which is oddly close to the word mullet. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but I just want to put it out there. Yo, did you see the picture of the dude I sent you? It
Yes.
was with the article. I mean, it's one of those moments where you go, look, brother, listen, brother. Bro, if the shoe fits, then dude, you wear it, okay? Because I don't even know what to say. But when you look at this guy looks like he fucks animals, okay? I'm sorry. Okay, that's probably too far. Homie's gonna get a mistrial because I said he looked like he fucks animals, and somebody from that trial heard it. No. The good thing is we're not cool enough. We're not even cool enough to be, at the trial. Just want to throw that out there. But if we were cool enough to be at the trial, Chris, would we be at the trial? Yeah. Sometimes I wish we really had that like big time show where we could just like Chris, we're broadcasting live from Kentucky, man, accused of fucking dead deer.
Okay,
Meth?
let's
I think this
give
is
these
beyond
people
meth.
some. How about the demographical area where Muhlenberg, Florida is? It's
Muhlenberg,
just
Kentucky,
outside
you
of.
mean?
Oh, Kentucky, is that where it is? Even
But
worse.
okay, so hold on, wait. The fact that there's a Muhlenberg, Florida, also though, I now
Yeah,
have
there
a
is.
lot of ammunition to respond to that friend in Florida. Like, hey, listen, fuckface.
It's just outside of Tallahassee.
I mean, do you know how many times we take shit here in Colorado because we live in El Paso County and you fucking
Yeah,
idiots don't understand that we're thousands of miles from the border because
right.
you, fucking you. We're not thousands, but we're a good 800 miles from the border, probably, if not more. It's quite a bit. I mean,
Easy.
it's a good 2 day. Well, it's a good full like day drive to get there. Half day, 12-hour,
Yeah,
14-hour drive. So do the math. That's probably a good 800 miles.
yeah.
Probably 16 hours even. Who knows? Anyway, so I think that depends on which way you go. But so anyway, so this guy in Muhlenberg County, it says a 911 caller reported a witness in the act of fucking a deer that was dead on the side of the road. The call came into the 911 operator around 7 p.m. on February 21st of this year, in the not so in the Colts year of 2026. Come on, that was funny. The evidence that they have against the guy is that the police found Osborne. This is the part that I don't send you, Chris. I hope you know that. This is the part that I have to, pardon the pun,
Is there
dissect from the story.
is it is it a video?
No, thank God, actually. And
Yeah,
whoever,
right.
God bless you for the fucking lunatic that thinks it's a good idea to file for the um the what's it called? It's the Public Informations Act thingy that where you can anything that's recorded on a body cam, you can ask
Freedom
for
of
it, and if they deny you, you can fight it in court to get it released.
Freedom of Information Act.
That's the one. I don't know why. I'm actually ashamed of that. That's one that we have covered so much
Right,
and
because
preached
yes.
and quoted and said, and especially when I talk about getting information on aliens and how they stonewall us under the Freedom of Information Act, saying that basically,
Right.
because the one thing that the Freedom of Information Act does is also cover the government's ass. It's like, hey, by the way, if you deem this classified due to national security, then we can deny that act or a request under that act. And then it takes
Yeah.
decades sometimes of court battles just to get that, to get it deemed not where it's not even, it's a lot. But anyway, the charges Osborne faces right now is sexual crimes against an animal. And the evidence the police found Osborne, bro, this is so gross, with his pants down. He was covered in deer blood and fur. Jail staff confirmed finding further biological evidence, including hair and blood around the suspect's private area during the booking process. Oh, that. So, raise your hand if you signed up to find deer shit on a dude's dick when you came to work. I mean, seriously, raise your hand. Who had that on their bingo card? Who had deer guts on a dick for 500, Alex? Holy shit. For my mind is going, it's a Class D felony. Conviction carries up to 1 to 5 years in prison for the crime. Obviously, if Osborne has any other uh, 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 any other stuff going on, right? Like priors, any type of criminal priors, they'll probably throw that bucket at him. Kentucky's pretty hardcore about that to begin with. But dude, I'm telling you, like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I'm literally trying to keep my lunch in here. What the fuck, dude?
Well, you know what gets me is uh being one from Kentucky and whatever. I mean, don't a lot of people have like farms? Like, at least you could be doing it with something that's alive, perhaps.
I just, I mean, honestly, like, so it's like there's
Not that,
levels to shit, right? When you think about the psychology and how things escalate and go to the next level and go to the next level and go to the next level, right?
that's
So
the
you have like
next
you have
level.
like normal, like church people only fuck for to make kids, right? De facto of celibacy, right? Followed by that, and then you got your low grade freaking whatever, right? Then you get into
Yeah,
some
I
crazy
wonder
shit. You get into
I
like
wonder if
people who
he
fuck dead people. You get into people who fuck animals in general to begin with, alive, and then clearly this guy's fucking a dead animal. Like
was he a
there are
churchgoer?
levels to weirdness that it goes so far that like whenever I'm like I'm a dog in a scallywag to my woman and my woman alone, and so if you go beyond that, I'm like, you can go to like Christian Grey beyond that. And I'm like, okay, I get you, you freak. I'm a dog too. I wrote 50 Shades of Trey for God's sake. I'm a dog. I get it. But then after that shit though, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You have to be quite
I do
twisted
not
for
understand
sure.
this. My brain goes in circles trying to dissect the thinking of someone. But I think like much when me and Mama watch those shows that generally cover psychopathia,
Yeah.
serial murder, things of that nature, right? I find that when me and Mama watch those type of shows, I quite often find myself saying, I'm just really trying to wrap my head around. It's called, in investigating and even in like litigating classes, even in undergrad school classes, people you can learn. I mean, God, you probably go online and learn it for free these days, but you can learn that that getting in the mind of the person you're trying to convict is actually a skill set, a trait that you need.
Yeah.
You need to understand why somebody did something because I think that makes you a solid investigator as a journalist or as a detective or as a prosecutor or a defense attorney, right? You need to be able to get in the other side's head and think like them. I quite often find myself saying you have to be able to like ask the questions they would ask. I come into many conversations, Chris, ready to walk all over the other person, basically, for lack of better words, because I've thought of
Yeah.
every fucking thing you're going to say to me already. And so I'm like, I've already thought of the 80 answers to each one of those things. And while that may make me literally want to go fucking insane, let's just say that my brain works like a natural debater, not a masturbator,
Yeah.
although it does work like that sometimes. But hey, let me live. But like a natural debater. So my brain really works in that concept of let me think of every way you're probably going to answer this, 3 hours before we ever even speak. And I think it's just someone who, like me, who really is generally prepared, like for a show, is generally prepared for work, is prepared in life, and prepared to do the work, and doesn't mind the back work that you don't see people doing. What I call the back of the house, the chef versus the kitchen staff. You
Right.
see the kitchen staff, you only see what the chef produces. And I kind of like that you kind of have to weave in and out of that in life. But anyway, and especially for if you're going to be a good investigator, so knowing like that kind of stuff is fun. I think it's useful, and I think people should really latch into that because you should try to understand the criminal mind of a psycho or a lunatic or a crazy person or a sicko, wacko, whatever you want to call someone for whatever incident, right? I'm not pinpointing anyone. I'm not even talking about, deer fucker. But what I'm saying is that there are times, Christopher, when I use your real name, Christopher, it's serious. There are
All right,
times where I
Dad.
cannot do
Use
that. I am deplorably sometimes good at saying, if I were going to commit this crime, my thinking, if I'm throwing it all out the window, is XYZ, right? Like I can generally do
Yeah.
that really well. And I call it to a point of deplorability because sometimes I feel like an awful human that I can at least think like somebody who's a loser, right? But there comes cases like this one where, Chris, I can't put my mind inside putting my dick
No.
inside, pun intended, words lined up on purpose, a dead fucking
Yeah.
dude. I can't think about not sleeping with other than a fully developed adult human, preferably for me, a
Right.
woman, because I'm not into guys, but if you are, that's your thing, and I'm not judging. I have lots of friends like you, and I love you, and I believe in your decisions, but that's not for me. Now, with that said, I believe in a voluptuous, full-grown ass woman, and anything outside of that, and or if you're, of course, gay, you're same-sex voluptuous guy or gal, right? I believe that that's all awesome, and if you're both in agreement of the naughty, you're doing great. But I also think they should fucking be alive, Chris. Like as in
Yes.
living. So this is weird to me because you're traveling into necrophilia and bestiality in a combo set. Like use a combo nasty. Use a nasty combo nasty.
Necro bestiality.
Necrobestiac. Coin that. Hashtag it, you nasty bastard. I don't get it, dude. I really don't. There are times in life,
No.
Christopher, where I'm just like, what in the fuck is this? But here
How
we are.
could how could you be that hard up?
I so first off, I think you have to be so first off, I feel like anybody who would fuck a dead animal is really in that borderland realm of a likely going to be a murderer, serial killer, and sexual predator. I have no doubt.
Right.
No, I'm not even trying to be a dick. I have no doubt because you are
Well, no, yeah.
already. It's not just. It's not. So sometimes you don't have to. Like if someone's like, "Let me put my dick in your butt," right? Just come on, people. We're all adults here.
Let's
You're
hit
fucking
the
around. Put this dick in your butt.
chocolate starfish.
Okay, yeah. Tap the starfish, whatever. Right? Like whether that's your level of freak or not, that's your choice, lady or gentleman of the opposite partner, right? But this
It's
whole thing
not
about this
dead.
guy who
It's
slept with
not
a dead deer on the side of the road, like fucked I can't even say slept with. It's like there's a choice involved here by the end.
right.
Fucked a dead deer on the side of the road. I can't. My brain cannot understand this because I
Let
think that
alone in public.
sex is with somebody who is of age and of consent and
Right.
of living. I mean, living is a mandatory thing here, Chris.
Yeah, there's got to be a heartbeat.
Preferably of the same sort of DNA strands, but not so much of the same DNA. It's going too far, people. Have you seen Becoming Amish? Serious, James, that's your cousin, bro. James, that is your fuck. Okay, sorry. I
Hey,
just can't
yeah,
let
but
go.
even
I'm
even
dead. I'm
even
dead.
doing your even doing your cousin would be better than fucking a deer in public. That's
Dude, seriously.
dead.
Honestly, Amish James is going to get away with fucking his cousin because this dude fucked a dead deer. That's
Yeah,
what's going to go
right.
down in the world.
Yes,
People are going to thumb right
yes.
past Amish dude fucks his cousin. That's serious because Kentucky man fucks a deer. Kentucky man fucks a deer. And then you skip right past Amish dude fucks his cousin. This show wasn't meant to be explicit, but well, here we are.
Oh, good gosh.
It's time for a station identification.
Hey, what's going on? It's the Hungry Hustling American Dream Afro Man. Wake and bake, America. Yeah, you're chilling with Mr. Ashtray.
That's MistaTre, not Ashtray.
You're listening to MistaTre, and you know why. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Chris. So, we're gonna move on. Not to beat a dead deer, or in this case, fuck one. But we do need to move on. So let's move on. Our second insane headline. We gave you a couple of what I call low hanging fruit headlines that are crazy. We gave you even a current events war related headline that was a little a little off the cuff, right? Like, putting video game propaganda or video game footage in a war propaganda video instead of just putting the actual stuff that was going on in the war. That's super shady, but weird. But even the guy who just banged a dead deer on the side of the road in Kentucky, look up the story, folks. It's real. He's been booked in. We just read his entire case out loud here and the crimes, charges, and even the evidence against the guy. So it's a real case, guys. Kentucky man does bang deer. Now we definitely hey, let's just say we bang at making fun of that stuff, but it's actually a true story. This isn't a parody show in that sense. We're very funny. We're very likable, laughable, and we're goofy. But this stuff is real. This stuff really
Right.
is happening, man.
We try
So
not to make too many things up.
no, we vet our stories too. I always used to tell my people, like, they'd come into the studio like, I got this story. This is what happened. Okay, who are the players? What's the points and facts? Bullet points me. And then, did you see this and did you vet this story somewhere else? Reputable too. Don't come to me with, mamatitty.com and then tell me the story's vetted. No, you got to come with something better than that. You know what it is. Don't come at me with that crazy because clickbait is real. So I need you to vet your story. But yeah, these
Yes.
are vetted stories, guys. These are actually very real, very true stories. And that's why they're so, when we do turned up headlines each year, a couple times a year, it's for a reason. They are turned up. What's up, TT? TT in the building. One of my aunties is checking in. What's up? What's up? So this next story is DNA doesn't lie. Or does it, Chris? Or
Or
does it?
does it?
So I sent you an article, my good friend, that was a breakdown of the of a couple of different, and it wasn't the first time, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. But this story was very compelling. The woman that in the story from the case that Christopher and I read, right? Sorry, I forgot you're not in trouble anymore. It's just Chris now. No, but seriously, Chris and I found this article. It blew my mind to a point where, like, dude, I sent this to my daughters who had children and my daughter-in-law. Like, I was like, girls, holy fuck, you need to read this article. Turns out
Right.
that your kids could be taken from you, but not for any real reason other than science is weirder than we really understand it, even to this day. So, Chris, I don't now, and before I go too far, I just want to say that I don't think this type of DNA discovery, I think it was Mama Bear and I talked about this, and um, I explained to her that I even told her, I said, I don't think this is the type of DNA discovery that would, stop, solve a murder or even get somebody wrongfully convicted. Like, it's not going to overturn any murders, Chris, right? It's not going to overturn a
Yeah.
murder conviction because this doesn't have to do with, if anything, it would just be so. If anything, it may make it harder to find you.
Yeah.
Like, like I'm on Ancestry. If my family members commit a murder, that's on you. I told you not to do nothing stupid. I'm going on Ancestry. I'm about to find my Puerto Rican family because the white ones are crazy. No, I'll just play with. Well, I mean, honestly, am I really playing? The ones from the factories, I'm like, y'all been sniffing in that factory dust too long over the centuries because I'm telling you, you're fucking nuts. But anyway,
It's the
I'm like, I'm going
it's
on
the
Ancestry. I'm gonna
asbestos.
find my family, but don't murder anybody because they gonna find you. Did I ever tell you about my cousin Kristen that I found? She didn't grow up with our Puerto Rican Claudio family either. She's like my third cousin or some crazy shit. And we
Really?
were like friends on social media and everything. And I looked into her, dude. She like when she said she's my cousin, I was like, man, I'm on the radio, fucking grifters. And then I looked into my DNA strain, and I was like, holy shit,
From a
you got a hold of
distance.
me and found me on Facebook because it gave you a hit on Ancestry. Like, that's how you
Right.
found me, girl. It was pretty cool. Let
That's
me tell you,
cool
it's like
though.
one of those cool like Ancestry commercials. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wish I would have had time to meet her, but I'm not a kind of person that you can just show up and say, hi, I'm here to, you want to hang out for the day? I just showed up into town. I'm literally like the
Right.
worst person for that. You have a
Yes.
70-30 chance to be told no. I have something going on. But I'm like, for
Right.
instance, if you showed up today, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I have a radio show to tape. I can't. Well, live show, and it's being taped for air later too. And so I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. So I always tell people all the time, like, you have to give me like a couple of weeks heads up. Let's sit down, let's plan, let's make sure you're flying into the right airport. There's a lot that goes into it. But anyway, so back to this
Yep.
DNA thing. So this is crazy. So going even back to 2002, there have been at least going back to 2002 that I know of, or that I was able to find out, Chris, that there have been documented cases of at least people who suffer from a condition called human chimerism. Chime, chimerism. I'm not supposed to have to do these big words.
It's
That's
a
not
fucked
on
up
me.
genetic disease that they claim they found.
I mean, did you have to do them people like that? You got a fucked up disease, you little bitch. No, I'm just playing. That's so funny.
You're not like us. You got to be deported.
Oh, it's not my TT. It's my other auntie. Oh, it's your cousin from Jersey City.
I
Your
said
aunt is my
Jersey
grandmother,
City.
Vanessa. Oh, I love. Okay, so your aunt is my grandmother, Vanessa. I love it. That's awesome. Okay, so this is my cousin, not my aunt. I'm sorry. Um, but it's my cousin. So this would be if you do the aunt thing, and she has a different mother, but the same father as my father. So she would be my second cousin once removed, I think. Is that how you say it?
I'm not sure.
Or twice removed,
I
maybe?
never.
Because yeah, twice
I.
removed. Because she has her own set of parents, and then my aunt has a different father or mother.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
twice removed. My mother and my aunt and my aunt, my dad is the only child from his two parents. They were young, they separated and then went off and had families of their own. But anyway, so long story short though, hola cousin. So man, I can't wait to go to Puerto Rico. But anyway, so DNA is a cool thing though, guys. Like I've had such an awesome journey, such a cool journey, involving DNA, involving so many different things that essentially line up like who you really are, man. Like
It's
things that
like
have
a
shown me some really
historical
proud things from
timeline.
Germany to Puerto Rico. Go ahead, sorry.
I said that it's like a genetic timeline.
Essentially, yes. Where's my
The
headphones?
history of Trey.
There we go. No, I was like talking and I didn't even know you were talking. I think it's because my headphone volume was down a little too low, though. That was on me, brother.
Ooh, shame.
Shame. Okay, so anyway, so back to this documented case, even going back to 2002, by Life Science, a Washington resident by the name of Lydia Fairchild. Um, Basically, essentially, long story short, to kind of give the backstory here, she originally, I think, was going through some separation or something or another, right? And she was needing a little bit of assistance, food stamps, etc., right? And when they went to get the food stamps, they're like, we're gonna DNA test the kids, so we can make sure that the father is really the father, etc. We're not just gonna go after somebody. Some of y'all states learned that some people just lie about who their daddy is. And like I always said, you ain't finna say I'm your baby daddy and then not have to take a paternity test because I know who my kids are. Anyway, so long story short, I guess it's not really a long story short situation here. It's a pretty long story. But anyway, um, essentially, what happened was though that this gal, why is my dog under my? It's always the one that like can't find his way out of shit that gets stuck under my chair. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Get away from me. I'm busy. But anyway, he gets stuck on. He's getting old. I love him, but he also I always I still talk shit to him because he's like a
he's
baby to me. He's like your
he's
kid.
an old he's an old wiener.
He is an old weenie. He's my old weenie man. He's so cute. He's still cute though. He still looks cute as shit because they like just like any small dog, they look pretty much like a kid forever. It's like
Right.
having a tiny puppy's like having a baby for life, honestly. Let's see here.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this crazy story is nuts. So she goes in, she's getting some government assistance, which is fine. You know, she needs some help with the fam bam, going through a separation. And getting, you know, as we say, sandbagged with two kids ain't easy, especially if you're maybe not getting some help, right? So she goes to get some assistance, and they're like, okay, we're gonna DNA, you know, do the whole DNA thing. So when the DNA results came back, they said that she wasn't the mom, and that she was likely the aunt pretending to be the mom. Okay. Now I gave you a little too much there about the aunt pretending to be the mom. I should have strung y'all along a little longer, but I'm trying to get to the point here. So in the long run, this woman went through hell. First off, she was accused of welfare fraud, right? Because these aren't even your fucking kids.
Yep.
She had to bring in like the people who birthed these kids, and even then, that wasn't necessarily good enough and didn't get her out of trouble. What finally got her out of trouble, if you remember reading in the article, Chris, what finally got her out of trouble was she had a fucking kid during all of this as a third child because she was already pregnant with the third one. And so she had a child during all of this, which was undeniable and videotaped. And the same thing, the kid came up in the DNA results is not hers. This is by far one of the craziest DNA stories I've ever seen in my life. It is an extremely rare condition, and it is also what I have now dubbed ghost fetus syndrome.
Ooh.
Like my name?
Yeah.
Nifty, right? So,
Yeah.
as most people know, a ghost or missing fetus is often when a person is initially early on, even as early as just the splitting of chromosomes and eggs and such, right? Early on, twin. There's twins in there. Long before you ever even know you're pregnant, long before you maybe even get any ultrasounds, any detection, right? There's a twin in there. And
Oh,
that one dies off. And that
yeah,
DNA
yeah,
is absorbed
right.
by the other one, essentially
Absorbed.
ate by the
Yes,
other organism. Not, don't
yes.
think in your mouth, chewing something up. Don't be gross. It's not even like that.
No,
But absorbed or
not the
consumed by
same.
the other cells, right? So you ready for
Yes.
this? Listen, ladies. Listen, this is for the ladies. Me and Chris just get to have fun to share the story with you. Listen to the craziest part. It was discovered that the uterine wall of this woman possessed the, again, ghost fetus DNA just in the uterine wall. Essentially and equivocally, from a DNA perspective at least, making the child she birthed, her niece or nephew, not her child, and by DNA. The child does not possess the mother DNA in a sense of paternal or maternal DNA, Chris. That's crazy. It possesses the
Oh my,
maternal DNA of the twin that it's like
yeah,
it's like in Game of Thrones, the queen that never was, the twin that never was,
right.
the twin that never was syndrome. Dum dum dum. No, actually that seems hurtful. We shouldn't go. I take it back. That seems I said out loud and I was like, oof. I tried.
It sounded
Let's do
good
the
for a half
ghost
a second.
fetus syndrome because that sounds a little more intense. It sounds like you're going to hear something go boom boom and then Netflix loads.
Right, right. So the DNA was actually transdermally absorbed.
Yeah, and so essentially, like I said, imagine, ladies, this is the craziest. And guys, oh, you think you're off the hook?
I mean, same thing could
You're
happen.
ball sackian. You could have absorbed parts of the DNA and developmental um, stuff where some of your genetic seed carries the ghost fetus info that's no longer there. And it's in your ball sack. So you basically got your brother's jizz juice in your balls. Dead ass. For a lack of a very immature and non-scientific way to put it.
or,
But that's what it
or
is.
your brother, your brother is your juice.
Your brother that never was is your jizz juice. Yeah. And so then you might get out of paying a child support payment until they figure out because they can test for this now. So you might get
Oh
out of a child
snap!
support payment for like a
Yeah.
little bit. But I do find it very unsettling though to know, honestly, fuck it. That's probably what's wrong with at least one of my kids. They're probably not really mine. They're my ghost. They're my ghost. They're my ghost fetus kid. Let's blame it on that. Now, from now, whenever my kids do anything wrong, I'm like, it's the ghost fetus. You got the ghost fetus fucking DNA. I didn't do this.
Oh, yeah, you don't think you're gonna? Oh, you should.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you're acting like that, and you must be a ghost fetus.
It must be the ghost fetus DNA kicking in today because you're being a fucker.
Right.
So I'm telling you, I'm blown away by this one, Chris. This is, like I said,
Yeah.
honestly, man banging deer already would have been top of the list, dead ass for turned up headlines. And somehow we found something that was so bizarre, so off the cuff of like, do you understand that? So the reason why I wanted to say that, wow, this won't overturn murders, because the DNA you leave at the scene is from your living current person, which is a direct biological ID tag or fingerprint to you. To you. So the ghost fetus provides the DNA that you don't match your child on, but your child commits a murder, they're still going to get busted. Does that make sense? So, and I think that was one of the biggest takeaways was I was really worried, like, is this, when I first read it, I was like, oh shit, thinking like, how many cases, seriously, how many cases is this going to overturn? I think where there may be some ground. Now, listen, if your kid turned 18 and then you find out there was a ghost fetus, guess what? You're never getting a dime of that child support. I promise you. Only a heartless cunt judge would really give you that back child support. I promise you. But if you catch that shit slipping before the kid's 18, oh man, I feel sorry for the parent with the ghost jizz juice and the ghost uterus, man, because you fuck. You paying that child support.
So I.
You know how much child? That's how you know I paid a lot of child support before all my kids were grown ups because I'm still damaged by it. Like all my warnings in life come on basis of don't go to jail, don't get child support, work hard. I mean, honestly, what more do you need? There's the book on life. Have kids later. Don't be stupid. Sorry for all my kids that have kids young. You know how I feel. I love all my grandchildren, but I did tell you, it would be easier if you waited. But hey, make your own choices. Life is full of choices. You get to make them. And you also have to live with them. But you can drop off those choices every Friday when you need a babysitter, and I'll take those choices, okay? Chris.
So it's essentially the eggs are what carry the different DNA on her.
No. So, yes, actually, something in that effect, and the uterus too is involved. So, first off,
Right.
remember that a
Right.
woman's egg is technically kind of like a blank. Think of it that way,
Yeah.
okay? Seed comes in, implants the information. If that information is viable, it then attaches itself to the circuit board, or in this, for this analogy, uterine
Yeah,
wall.
the
And
lining.
as it develops, it's absorbing information from the uterine wall and the paternal side, right? So the
Right.
egg itself, because remember, the egg hasn't started developing anything. You know what? I bet you, I bet you we need to ask somebody way smarter than us. So we'll just, hey, Google, does the woman's egg possess DNA prior to it being fertilized by the male? I think that's the right question.
An unfertilized egg, oocyte.
Okay, so then the egg already had to have the DNA in it, bro. But I did find it fascinating that the uterine wall, like basically she had her sister's uterus in this case, okay? I'm serious. That's so like next level bizarre. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah,
Yeah,
so you're
that's
right. Just like the sperm
yeah.
situation with the ghost jizz, with the ghost brother jizz, it's the ghost sister egg actually.
Yeah.
Or the ovaries, the whole. So it's not just the uterine wall. It's the fallopian
Yeah.
tubes and the ovaries
It's
all had the sister's DNA. Duh.
the whole reproductive setup.
The role, essentially, you've got your sister's reproductive organs, and
Right.
basically, it's like your coochie in her box. Dead ass.
Right.
Like it's like
Yeah,
your coochie and her baby vessel. It's such a trip. This is like the most
they
bizarre case we've had in years, man.
they
It's a
swap
trip.
they swap parts.
I mean, honestly, it's almost like a uterine, ovarian, tubulin transplant that worked. Only
Right,
it worked from birth, bro. Weird.
right.
So weird. And it's weird in that, like, sorry for Lydia out there in the world, but I mean that from like I'm a nerd, so for me, like all my like nerd like juices get to flowing over stuff like your story. So I don't want you to think when I say it's so weird and it's so crazy and it's so intriguing, I don't want you to think I mean that in a negative way. No, I'm literally like I've been stuck like Chuck on your story because it's just one of those things that conceptually speaking, it's this idea has obviously been around for like 25 years. I just heard of it. Did not know that was possible. Did not know that was a thing. Like ghost baby jizz juice and ghost baby ovaries. Like what the fuck? Seriously? Like that's so what slap me across the face if I can live another 30 or 40 years, but I'm just what we've learned in just the last 20, I'm like, when are we gonna learn another double 20? That's a lot. If I can live another 40, another 30. That's a lot of stuff that's gonna keep changing. I think that when it comes to the dynasticos or DNA, as you guys know it, I think that we really only know what we know in a sense of criminology. We as a society haven't even really use DNA in a way that as positive as we could for as much as we can for like
Right.
genetic research. The minute we realized we could convict people on it, if you notice the development of that science really just overdrive in that direction, which is great for solving crimes. But I think as time goes on, we're going to start uncovering some really cool, almost the word that one comes to mind is really cool nuanced things about this, like the ghost baby jizz juice. That's what I'm going to call it. Hate me if you want to, but that's what it is.
Right.
And then
That's what it is.
the ghost baby ovaries, like what the fuck? So insane.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what a odd and unique way to carry a line of family genetics along that just absurdly um uh, 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 that is absurdly a weird
Twisted.
way that a line of genetics carries on through your family that for all intents and purposes should not be there,
Yeah. Let Ancestry explain that one.
bro. And talk about gene like instead of someone being your mom and your dad like you think, and then you have a new partner outside of the family,
she's your
that
aunt and your
gene
dad.
separation, or what like why you're not supposed to sleep with your family. So that gene
Right.
separation becomes even further because your mom gave birth to her sister's kid, essentially, in a sense. In a sense,
Yeah.
you're still
Yeah.
that woman's baby, but you get what I'm trying to get at. I think the kids
Yeah.
that have this, I think them and their kids kids need to be tracked and traced because this might it's just such a this is on the level of what we really refer to like a genetic mutation.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
it's really up there with that kind of stuff where you're birthing a child that you have literally conceived, did the dirty to get the whole nine. It's nasty, all of it. And then
Nasty.
you're getting a
Nasty.
DNA result that says this is your sister's kid that you've never met. Because the best part about this particular individual is they didn't have a sister. So it couldn't have been their sister's kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I remember right. So it's insane.
Right.
Anyway, let's get out of here for the day. I'm
Let's get
blown
out of
away.
here.
I literally could just sit here and
Yes.
go in circles rambling about how blown away I am because it still blows my mind. This is just one of those cases. It just does it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I don't even know what's next week's show. You know what? We won't pre-sell it. We'll just leave. Peace out, hoes.
Peace
Hey,
out.
Chris, I'm gonna call you though right now.
Mm.
Hey, yo. Booming systems across Colorado.
Boom, boom, let me hear you say, whoa.
To hear the crowd go.
We like the cars that go boom.
That means I'm chilling.
Lazy.